What would happen if you really loved yourself and said you loved yourself? That's a question that I've been grappling with today, and I don't know that I have a lot of really great answers, but I have some slightly disturbing truths that I've discovered. As you probably all know, and I really need to preface this because I'm a little bit all over the place, but I am a firm believer that when experiences happen in my life, it's because I'm supposed to learn something, and I'm generally supposed to share it as well. That's sort of an intention that I set for my life. I want my life to not only help me, but to be able to help other people. And sometimes that means making a meal for someone, maybe that means watering their plants, and generally I think it means making videos for other people. And this is something that has come up in my life and kind of hit me square between the eyes and sort of knocked me down. And I'm still grappling with it, but I also feel like it's something that a lot of us are grappling with. That's why I started with the question that I did. What would happen if you really loved yourself? And if you stated with confidence you loved yourself? In the world that we live in today, we are huge in vulnerability. We are huge into being real. I am in no way saying that sharing when you're having a bad day or sharing what's going on in your life is bad. But generally I feel like that's the only times that we're real, because we're afraid that if we also share that we're confident, if we also share that we like ourselves, and that and I'm saying like ourselves even when we're not on a diet. What about just loving yourself because you're you? I was really hoping to do this video happy. I'm trying to come to this channel with a lot of happiness and joy and delight. But I haven't been feeling that way lately. I have been feeling a lot of discouragement and doubt and frustration, and I have been wrangling with it, guys. Key life tip here. When you are going for a goal, when you are going for something different in your life you have never had before, the stuff inside of you is going to come up. It's going to go coming up and flashing before your eyes, and you will see all of your imperfections. You will see the old programming that you believe in. You will see the things that stop you. And if you really want to make it to that new, different thing, you get to face all of this stuff head on. So this last week, I have been hitting hard at my goal of going to bed again. I know that this is something that I've been saying since January and before. I know that this is something that was happening even before then. And so I determined I keep not getting it. I am finally going to get it. I'm finally going to work hard, and I'm finally going to push, and I'm going to get there. Because I was so tired of saying that this is one of those things that's just hanging out there, and I just thought if I could just go to bed sooner, more people for me to mentor would show up in my life. If I could just get myself under control, then things would start moving in my life. And so I reached out to people, and I thought if I could just reach out to more people and have a bigger accountability group, I would do it. So I shared with my team last week, and I said, hey team, could you guys please help me be accountable and check in with me every night at 9:30 and make sure I'm heading to bed? And so I did, and they did, and they've been fantastic. And what I have discovered and what I have found is that I'm still sabotaging myself. And what are the things that are coming up, you might ask? The programming or realization that when I think that I'm doing a good job, like I'll be sitting at the couch and I'm almost done writing and it's 9:15 and my goal is to be in bed at 10:07. And I'm sitting on my couch and I'm thinking, wow, I'm doing really great tonight. And there is this switch that flips in my head that says, oh, you're ahead? Well, then we're just going to chuck all of this stuff and you're going to remember all of these things that you haven't done. Because you don't get to feel how good accomplishment feels. Or voices in your head that says you don't even know who you really are. How can you teach anybody else who they are if you don't like yourself? And I didn't. I have been combating feelings of comparison. And you remember that technique that I taught you weeks ago about flicking comparison away? Still a good technique. Still an awesome technique. But what I realized, you have to be very thoughtful about the gratitude that you fill in its place. I was so grateful about the help from heaven. I was so grateful for my car that drove. I was so grateful for the food I had to eat. I was so grateful for all of these things that I forgot that at some point I also had to be grateful for myself. I had to like who I was. Because when I flicked all the other comparison away, when I sent all of the I don't measure up, or I measure up too much, or oh look at that, or oh over there, when I got rid of all of that stuff, all I had was a really empty me on the inside. And I was doing all of the right things. I mean, I was still writing in my journal, and I was doing my tracker so that I was seeing progress and trying to get to bed better, and I've been eating 3 vegetable servings a day and doing all of these things because I thought if I just did enough, I would be enough. If I just fought really hard for what I wanted, that I could finally see myself enough. And talking to this friend of mine last night, she mentioned that as a society we're really good at preaching self-love, but we live self-criticism. How true is that for you? Because last night, as I was in an inner battle with myself, I realized that any time I thought a good thought about myself, I hid it away. Every time I went, oh, that was a really awesome thought to share, I went, oh, but don't think that. Might get a big head. Or every time I look in the mirror and I go, oh, I really like this outfit, or I really like how lipstick worked out today, or any number of things. It's like, oh, but don't think that. You might be prideful. You might get yourself in trouble. How well do you like yourself? How well do you embrace yourself for who you are? Last night, after all the processing and after the realizations that I didn't see myself as enough, because I saw the potential of my light, because I run from it. I see that potential and I run from it because I'm afraid that if I embrace it, then that's really who I am. I won't be accepted anymore. What happened if you walked up to someone and you said, I love me for all of my curves and my weird toes and my mole and my strange birthmark? Are you just as terrified about what people would say as I am? Mind you, I wouldn't be saying those things. I would be saying I love myself for how comfortable I am in front of the camera. I absolutely love and adore teaching people. I love giving talks in sacrament meeting. I love teaching classes. I love sharing what I learn. And I love going through hard things because it teaches me so much. There is a point to this video, I promise. And the point to this video is I hope that in the next few days, you will write down and fully accept what you love about yourself. That you will fully and embrace that you have things to offer in all of your imperfections, And all of your hurt and your worry and your lecturing yourself because you didn't do things right, or you're terrified that someone's going to lecture you because you can't believe that you doing your best is the best this world needs. So please, take your piece of paper and a pen. I want you to use a pen, not a pencil, because I don't want you to erase this when you feel self-doubt later. And I want you to sit down and I want you to write 3 things that you love about yourself. 3 things that you might not ever tell another soul, but that you love and value and find meaning in yourself. I don't care what it is. I just gave you my list, and that's because I am an extrovert that loves being in front of people. I love teaching. It's why I'm choosing this. I choose mentoring as a career. You're different. You're unique. You're you. What is it that makes you you? And write it down and claim it. And at the top of that piece of paper, I want you to write, I am me. And me is enough. That's what I came to last night. That's what I realized last night. Is that when I work through all of the comparisons and all of the fears and all of the worries and working so hard to be enough, to be good enough, to go someplace, to be worth being liked, I realized you don't earn it. You are enough because you like pairing socks. You are enough because you don't like pairing socks. You are enough because you walk around on this planet and you may think that you have nothing to offer anyone. Well, guess what, guys? You breathe, and because you breathe and you put out carbon dioxide, trees get to grow because of you. So if sometime tonight those voices, or sometime later, those voices get really noisy and say, you have nothing to offer, you remember you help trees grow. That's important. And that the very things that make you you matter. So I want you to write that list, and maybe you feel uncomfortable posting it somewhere. That's totally fine. But write it, claim those 3 things, write I am enough, nope, I am me and me is enough, and look at it twice a day. And just let it sit with you. And I will be back on Thursday to share with you guys the next step in this process to be okay with your inner core. Yes, we are to love ourselves, but sometimes being okay is the first step. Let me know if you have questions. I'd love to hear your journey. And I'll see you guys on the flip side towards loving yourself and being okay.